Mamelodi Sundowns has made an announcement that they've actually signed a 27-year-old right winger by the name of Lesiba Nku. He's actually a former player of Mamelodi Sundowns, who all of us know that they've been relegated. They would be playing in the NFD next season. So they've made an acquisition. I don't know with Pam profile Nini. I don't really know much, but I've seen him quite a few times whenever I was playing for Imarumo Gallants. But before we go any further, hello, welcome back again to another episode. If you're new to the channel, if you've just seen this video for the first time, please, before you do anything, before you go any further, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe at the very same time. This is your boy Walter, bringing you all the PSL news on everything about your local football. So yeah. Sundowns now has been making rounds. I guess they've been busy in the market, and officially, I think as from yesterday, the transfer window has been open. So this is their second player now they've actually acquired. So for me, if I were to rate the signing, to be fair with you, if you have a difference of opinion, you'll just leave your comment in the section. Maybe you know more than I do. Sorry. 5 out of 10. If I were to rate this player, I'll tell you why. 5 out of 10. Because for one, it's a surprise sign. It's a surprise signing in a sense that I don't think you've seen him having a stellar performance in the sense it's as a man of the match. People have been raving about him. He's just a player that you would think he would go to a super sport or, just go to a PSL. He deserves to be in the PSL. Basically, that's what I mean. But looking at the stats, I saw that he's from Polokwane City. He's from the development there. He played a couple of games in the NFD, and Maromo Gardens got him for free. And also, to be fair on him, yes, um, he's been one of the key players apart from Abuka Klekono. Who's this guy? Who hasn't been really having, I guess football is about luck. I think this guy, yes, he's bold. I would think that he's one of the guys who would be snapped up by any team before even Ndlondo went to Pirates. So he's one. Don't get me wrong. He's been there. He's played, I think, the most matches as a starter. There, hasn't had much injuries. Has a couple of goals. He's just got 2 goals in 18 matches, and an assist as well. Even if you're a second assist, but he's been the player that they relied on even when going to CAF. Don't get me wrong. So he has put his hand up in a sense where that's what I'm saying. If a super sport was coming, even a Kaiser Chiefs sometimes, but he still would have been a surprise. But I'm not necessarily surprised on one note is that when they were play, if you've seen Maromo Callants under Uten or Madisela, no, let's go to Kerr as well. They play comfort football, man. They don't really play from the wing. They cut inside, and then they look for good technical players on the wing, because he's able to whip in good crosses and also come inside and actually play with his teammates. So maybe they're looking for that kind of ability. And have being he's 27, so he's not really that old. Because for me, if you're looking for a right winger, you still have a good male on the side. You still have a pacey winger. He's not really your explosive kind of winger, but he does have pace. So I'm thinking maybe they're looking to add in that area, shoot the player. Njengabokutumela, I heard Yoralani na ngathi uyahamba. So just to have that continuity and depth, and not to just have a player that's just going to be adding a number. That's what I mean by he's not really a bad player. He's just a good player. I'm just surprised that they've actually went for him. Maybe also it's because it's so saturated. There's not enough, I don't know, signings they could make at this time because they still have quality. So for me, that's what I meant by not really convinced about him. I'm still yet to see that he really give these other players a run, in a sense where maybe his experience they're looking for them being in the Champions League. Maybe he's had CAF experience. They can use him for that. I don't think he's going to be a regular start in the PSL. Having to think he's new competition is very tough there, and playing for a club like Mamelodi Sundowns demands consistency. Because remember, when you're coming from a smaller club, it's easy for you to sleep and to hide yourself in one or two games. But now, when you're playing for Sundowns, a club that is guaranteed to win silver every season and demands that, now obviously you need to step up. So whenever they profile or they bring in a player, like I want to bring in a Mendieta, we understand because he's proved himself consistently and one of the best players, if you will, in the last season. So them coming to say, hey, we need you, I understand. Lesiba Nku, I guess maybe them being an institution of having to mold such players so they can um, take them to that level. That's the part I'm saying. Okay, look, let's see what you can do. But as far as where I'm sitting as a footballer, I'm yet to be convinced about him. Like I said, for me, he reminds me of a Kutumela. And Kutumela he comes from a Maritzburg where he was the only player who was outstanding. Lesiba Nku there, I would say Katlego or Tladis. I forgot this guy's name, man. There is a bold guy. I think he come out or so, but he was also a player that you would pick out of the team to say, okay, like if we ever had needed a player that has been outstanding in a team, singathatha yena. Lesiba Nku, he's been part of those players. I wouldn't say he's the only player that was making the team tick, that was making that attacking front score more goals or give us assists or take on players. So you wouldn't pinpoint or see, and especially with Moromo Gallants being relegated, and but probably because maybe they went all the way to the semis of the Kev, maybe it speaks for itself. And but what's good about Sundowns, they are able to identify players that come from these smaller unit teams that you wouldn't expect to make it there, and they'll surprise you. So that's something. Maybe as a institution, they know what they are looking for in Ulisiba. So maybe that could justify them buying him. And also, obviously, we know that they are like to go to South America. We've had some chatter, but maybe also having to bring in a local player and also not spending too much because already they maybe still recouping that money that they spent on the back no, I end. So they have money, man. They have money. They can afford the best players, but they've already bought too many Mendieta for. I'm guessing that price tag was quite big. So it's interesting to see him how he's going to, like I said before, come into the team. But I don't think he's going to be a player who's going to be thrown into the deep end in the starting 11. We're going to see him like Abuzung. They're going to take some time, fitness, getting used to the team, being transitioned, understanding the culture of the club that demands so much. But I don't think, at the same time, to be fair, Sundowns has become a brand that they know how to take their time with new players and helping them to adjust to their style of play. Because now, obviously, we have Abu Shishi who are getting a bit old. They have young players in that wing. They've lost Domingo. They don't have Abu Kutumeri is also a bit old. Abu Ralane. The wingers probably Abu Sereno. They're getting old. So we understand maybe on their side having to profile such players. Mendieta coming in as well. He's not really that young anymore. So maybe that justifies them going into the market because obviously when other teams are making moves, you can't sit on your laurels, and especially when you have the money. So maybe just the scouts are always telling them, "With okay, sharp, there's a player here and there," but I definitely know that this is not their last signing. As you know, sometimes they like to keep their squad quite big, which is fair. They're going to be competing in a lot of competition this season. Don't forget, there's a Super League, there's a Champions League, PSL, Black Label Cup, MTN8, Netbank, six, six. So don't take the signing lightly. I know a lot of people will not be looking at it as a way of saying, and in those six, mind you, they need not just adding numbers. These people want to win. So that's why we're talking about it today because it gets you thinking in the sense with what's going on in that camp. What are they thinking? What more players? Because I know there's a South American player that players, not just that they also are profiling. So it shows that they also want to refresh the squad, bring in a lot of interesting guys, and have a new setup there. But it's going to be interesting. But now we don't know who's going to be replacing Nkombela. as we've heard that he's left. So Rulani has a lot of work to do. I'm sure he's having sleepless nights in this preseason. We've heard that they're going to Netherlands for their preseason tour. So yeah, Mina guys, that's all I have for you guys. Before I leave, like I said, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really would appreciate your like and subscription, and click on that notification play if you'd like to hear or you'd like to be the first person to know whenever I drop a video. And also, let's talk, guys. Leave your comments in the comment section. I like the interaction. I like the guys who have been leaving their comments. Tell me what you think. Sundowns, is it a good signing for them? What do you think? What are they thinking? Where's the direction? Because that's what I think. And they want to beef up the squad in terms of the competitions. But do you think maybe they're doing it for the sake of doing it because other clubs are signing as well? Or is there 4 minutes to this madness? Let's talk. Leave your comment in the section and let's hear what you guys have to say. For me, this is all I have for you today. See you next week or the coming week or the next episode whenever I drop. You'll be the first person to know. Thank you so much. Thank you. Shop, shop.